Hi, this is Jody with Jody's Kitchen. This morning, I'm going to show you how to use leftover bread bowls. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut the tops off and we're going to empty them out, hollow them out, and then we're going to line them with some ham and pour in an egg. Simple as that. Some seasonings, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to bake them at 350 degrees for about till that egg is done, which could be about 10 to 12 minutes. We don't know yet. I've never made these, so we're learning together. Also, I'm going to make some French toast out of my loaf of bread that I made this week. Didn't use a lot of it, but I don't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to use it as French toast. So you'll get to see me do that as well. Let's get started. As you can see, I went ahead and I cut the top off and hollowed out one of my leftover bread doughs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use Applegate. It's an uncured black forest ham, and it is really, really good. And it is organic. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to push that down in there. Just one slice is really good enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one egg. Don't break it. Probably won't even use that much, so I'll have lots of tomato left over. So what I'm going to do is pour some in here. Then I'm going to take some cheese, and not a lot, but I'm going to put it over there. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake this 350 degrees, let's say about anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes. It, again, depends on how well you like your egg done and how well your oven goes. So what I'm going to do is just place it in a pan like that and get to baking. What I have here is a bread slicer, and here's my loaf. Hardly been touched this week. It happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some nice thick slices out of this. And I got this little contraption here that my sister purchased for me. Really nice. Usually it just helps you to keep things nice and even. Usually I go this way, but I want some nice thick. And then I want some really nice thick slices. And then I think I'm only going to make 4 of these because it's just my husband and I. So that's 2 each. And then I'll just use the rest of this to make, breadcrumbs for breading. Okay, now the butter is just going to be to melt in our pan. In fact, I'll go ahead and just get a couple of those started. Well, just get a couple of teaspoons. That's about all you're going to need, especially if you're using a non-stick. You don't need any more than that. So I'll get that going. Set this off to the side. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 4 eggs. And I'm going to take some milk, just about a half a cup, quarter cup to a half a cup, I would say. I also like to flavor it. A lot of people do. I use some vanilla, and I like to use cinnamon, and I do like to use some nutmeg. Okay, so we've got our 4 eggs in there with about a quarter to a half a cup of milk. This is I grabbed a half a tablespoon. That's okay. I like lots of flavor, and that's some vanilla for you. Dry that out. And I'll use only about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Teaspoon of cinnamon, in case you didn't hear me over my banging there. And I'm going to use about a half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to mix that up. And if you like to have it sweetened, which I do, you can add a little bit of sugar or brown sugar. I'll just add like a tablespoon of brown sugar. That'll help me get my sugar buzz on. And I also like to use just a little bit of salt. It just brings out the sweetness, so you know, just that much. Don't need much. Gotta beat it to death here. Make sure everything is blended. All your spices are not, you know, you got big lumps of cinnamon or nutmeg, and also it makes it easier, you know, to put these in and let them soak up. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move you over here next to our stove, and that way you can see me frying up and making our French toast. We'll be right back. Again, not a fan of getting my hands real dirty. So what I'm going to do is going to take a slice of it, put it in there, use some tongs. Very, very useful tools. Very. That's our eggs. Alrighty. As you can see on that French toast there, it's got a lot of seasonings. Make some room for all of them. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough room for the last one, but that's okay. Let me check my eggs. And I got this on a medium-high heat. Oh, but look at that. Isn't that beautiful? This is going to be really, really yummy, you guys.